Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial. This is Omar Jasseh from JassehCodeCamp. So in this tutorial, you're gonna basically build this beautiful UI interface. Yeah, I mean this form. It's a feedback form. And this platform is called iCodeThis, and it's a platform for front-end developers or anyone that wants to improve on their front-end development skills to come and practice on. It's a good platform from my friend or my digital friend, Florian. Yeah, so I think we can get started. So as you guys can see, this is the first challenge that we're gonna work on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually open this thing on a new tab so that we can basically have yeah, so like a wider view of the thing that we need to do. So now what I'm going to do is this. If you come here on the platform, if you want, you can basically work on the platform itself, do the challenge, and then when you are done, you can submit. But also, if you want, you can actually work on your local machine, on your local editor. And when you are done, if you want, you can come and submit. And I'm going to encourage you to come and submit. It's a good thing to do to get feedback from your peers and other people on this platform. Yeah, so now I'm gonna get to my local editor. I have this folder already created for my video tutorials. So I'm gonna open this thing in VS Code, but before doing that, I think I can just open this thing and create a new folder here. So I'm gonna call this thing basically zero. The computer start counting from zero. So I'm also gonna start counting from zero. So I'm gonna call this thing feedback form like that, and then I think you can now open this thing in VS Code. So I also want to say that I would like to actually do this tutorial in two parts. We're gonna do the HTML part of the tutorial first, and then in the second video, in the second part, we're gonna do the CSS, which is going to be the most interesting part. But the HTML also is very important, definitely, and we are gonna structure this very well. Yeah. So yeah. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create an index.html here like this, and then I can bring in the boilerplate. Yep. So I can change the title to feedback form. Cool. And now I think we are ready to dive in. So now what I'm gonna do is this. Let's go back again to our UI. So and I think it's going to be good if you can basically have this thing side by side. Yeah, let's see. Cool. And then cool. And yes. Yeah, and I think I can also basically remove that thing on the side. So I think this sounds good. So we can actually do the tasks that we really need to do here. So now what I'm going to do is now let's talk about the UI. And it's a good practice when you are given a UI to implement to actually basically dissect the UI into the different components, like identify your elements. Yeah, so with that, it's going to be easy for you to actually dive in and start implementing. So now, looking at this thing at the back of this card, the actual card is part of the UI and like part of the design. So I would say, okay, maybe let's take this as a shadow. Yeah. So if you want, you can basically just go and have an element that's going to be sitting on the side of the main form here and actually style that thing to look like this. But at least for a start, let's say it's going to be a start for us. Now, this is going to be the actual UI, like actual element that we want to have. And like this, our card kind of. So what we're going to do is, I think what we can do is basically we can have, let's say, a main element here. And then inside main, we might basically want to have like a div. And then now inside div, now basically the div is our card. So what we can do is we can even give it a class, even though we are not going to start the styling now. It's not a bad thing. Like it's even a good idea. And I actually like doing this because when I do this, I'm actually identifying basically my classes for styling ahead. And in that case, when I want to start styling, I will not be thinking of my class name. So I'll just go right away, select an element, select basically the element based on this class and start the styles. Okay, so now looking at this, as I said, it's a form. So what we might want to do is we might want to use the form element. It's the most semantic element for actually processing form from your users. So now inside form here, We have this title for the form, that's the give feedback. So here basically we're going to use one of the heading elements. You can go with H1, but yeah, definitely it's the only UI we have on the page, so it's a good thing to go with H1. But let's assume this is on a real website. So basically in that case, it might not be the only thing on the form, and but never mind. So definitely, let's go with H3. So but any H that you go with here definitely is not a bad thing, but just you assume that okay, we building this thing on a real site or on a real platform, so it's not the only thing on the form. We assume maybe we have some other headings on the form already, so we can just choose to say, yeah, let's just say three for this, not bad. So I'm going to say give feedback, and the case in here doesn't really matter because later we're going to use CSS for the styling purpose. uh yeah, then I think, I'm sorry about this, guys. We might not want to have the H3 inside the form. The H3 should be outside the form. Yeah, so now inside the form, we want to basically put our form controls. So now looking at this thing now, let's see this text. What do you think of the issue site experience within Jira projects? So this basically is the description of these form controls, group of form controls. And now to describe a form control, we're gonna use a label. And but before that, I might want to actually group the label and those inputs in one container. And the right job for that is a div. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm also gonna give a class for that div. I might want to call it form group. This. Then now I'm gonna have a label, and I'm thinking of the for. I might not need the for, but let's just leave it there for now and see. If you wouldn't need it, we're gonna remove it. What do you think of the issue search experience within Jira projects? Cool. So now, looking at this, these are the actual rating buttons now. So you have 5 of them. So I might also want to group this into one container like this. Now we're gonna decide what form control or form element we're gonna use for this particular for these buttons. So basically, you can go with almost anything if you want to, but always be thinking of semantic and accessibility. So now we can use button here. We can even use plain old div, and we style it to look like this. We make it interactive, meaning by applying some JavaScript and make the CSS work. Yeah, but definitely I would want to go with the input element with the type attribute of radio, basically radio buttons. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is this, for each button there, I'm gonna wrap it inside a label, and I might not need the for here. Now inside here, I'm gonna actually put the input with type radio like this, and they need to have a name to belong to one group. I'm gonna call it rating, and I think that's it. Yeah. So now I'm gonna put maybe the image. Yeah, that's for the icon here. You can see these are emoji icons. So I have already identified the platform to get these icons from. So, and I've actually even downloaded them already. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna actually show you the platform, but I'm not gonna download it with you. You guys can go there and maybe actually see the icons for yourselves. I've downloaded them. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna copy them in this project. At the moment, they're not there yet. You can see nothing is here yet. We only have index.html. So I'm gonna copy them here, and then start referencing the icons. So yeah, but if you still want also, you can go and pull in an icon library on this project, and then you just reference the right icon for this stuff. Yeah. So I'm gonna do this, and the alt for this one is terrible. And then I'm gonna have maybe a span, or I can just leave it hanging like there. Yeah, let's give it a span, no problem. Terrible like this. Then after that, I think, yeah, let's go and actually get these icons. So if you come here, you can see this place is called Tabular Icons. They have very beautiful icons. So, and you get them for free. So what I did was I just came here and then choose the mood category. So in the mood category, we're gonna basically see all these icons that corresponds to these ones. So now I'm just gonna go and copy the icons that I downloaded already and paste them in that folder. So copy like this. I'm gonna paste them here. So they're here. Cool. Oh, not there. What not bad. Also, we got them here. Yeah, we paste them here. Cool. So now let's get back to our editor. We're here now. So I think we can start referencing these icons. So let me go back to my browser too as well. Sorry about this, guys. Oh, yeah, cool. So now I'm gonna say dot slash icons, and then the first one is terrible, right? Yep, icons, terrible. Yep, let SVG. Now I'm gonna just going to duplicate this, like copy and paste, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, the next one is but. So I'm gonna say but, and the alt is important, guys. Please never leave your alt to be empty. But, and then the next one is what again? The next one is okay. Yes, okay, okay. Yep. Now the next one is going to be good. Please read my platform good. Yeah, good. Then the last one is going to be amazing. This platform is amazing. Please read my videos, amazing. Okay, so now I think we're almost done now. Yeah, if you want, basically at this point, we can inspect what we have. Yeah, let's see. Definitely it's a good idea to start checking your result. Yep, you don't want to wait up to the end of your work to start checking. Awesome. This is beautiful, right? So it's plain old HTML, but definitely it works. Yeah, even without the CSS, it looks good. Let's try. You see, I can click, I can click, I can click, I can click. This is the beauty of this. So what happened is, if I want, I can actually click on the radio button here, or I can click on the icon here. I can click on this icon, and that's what we want. So, but don't worry. When we're gonna style this thing, or in the styling part, we actually gonna style this thing to look exactly like this. Maybe pixel perfect if we can. And there are a lot of benefits of using this radio button. I think I can even basically use the arrow keys on my keyboard. Very nice. You can see I'm not using the keyboard. I'm using the arrow keys, like accessibility 100%. This is good. You'll love this thing. Okay, so let's get back to our code. Yeah, and I think I can also have this thing being shown here. So we're almost done with the HTML. So we have this, we have, let's say, this form group here. So now the next one to do is actually the, I'm gonna say that form group again. So I'm gonna put a label here. This time around, I think the 4 is going to be needed. So yeah, we are asked to kind of put some additional comment in there. And yeah, so let's say comment, but how is it called there on the UI? It's called reasons, right? That's fine. We call it reasons. What are the main reasons for your rating? So let's put that text. What are the main reasons for your rating? Because I love this platform. Okay, so now I'm gonna have just a text area now, and the name is going to be reasons. The ID is also reasons. The calls and the rules is okay. We leave it like this for now. Doesn't really matter. But when we start the CSS, we might want to adjust that. Yep. So now I think the next things are going to be those two. Basically, I can put them in their own form group also as well. Like for each of them, form group like this, and then the privacy policy and the research group. So this one too, I'm just only going to have a label like this, and I might not need the 4. And basically, there are a bit of good techniques that I'm actually showing you here. Basically, how to actually let's say associate a label and an input. So one way is actually using the 4 attribute here on the label, and you give the corresponding ID attribute with the same value of the 4 attribute of your label. So this will actually bind these two labels together. So they associated. Another way of doing this is actually like this one, where we just have the input wrapped inside the label. You can see that's why like we were able to basically uh, check that button the moment we click on any of the items we have here. Like when we click on the radio button itself, it was checked. When we also click on the image, it was checked. When we also click on the uh, amazing text, it was also checked. Really, really, really beautiful and a nice technique. So we're going to use a similar technique here. I'm going to say input. This time around, the type is going to be checkbox. And the name doesn't really matter, but let's just give it a name. We say privacy policy. Yeah, doesn't really matter, at least for this at this point, because this is only at the front end. But really, when you want to send this into the server, the name is very important and it needs to be there. So I think, what do we need to have there now? And we don't need to have an ID, because by default, as I just explained moments ago, the moment we have the input wrap inside the label, automatically the input belongs to the label or the associated, so to speak. Okay, so I think we have a full stop here. And now that privacy policy, looking at it, is a link. So I'm going to use a like this, and we don't know where to go to at the moment, so we just put like a forward slash, and I'm going to call this thing privacy policy. Cool. So we can also duplicate this like this. Let me scroll a little bit up so that you guys can see my screen clearly. So now the next one here is called research, research research group, full stop. I don't think we need this full stop here. Now we're gonna call this research group. Awesome. Also a checkbox. Okay, so we almost done. We are now left with the buttons, that's the submit and the cancel button. This one too, another div. I might not want to put this thing inside a form group class. Not really a big deal, but anyway, you can do that for now. And in the styling, if it is not necessary, then we will remove it. So we need to have two buttons, button times two, emit power here. And the first is submit, the second is cancel. But these two buttons, they are not going to do the same behavior. They will be different. By default, submit will submit the button to our form processor that is at the back end, to our server there, and cancel will cancel this process. Basically mean it's not going to submit it. So it can reset it, or it can take us back that one left to what you decide there. So now what we're going to do, since they all are not going to submit the form, we need to change the type of the cancel button to something else. So you're just going to make this thing a normal button. But as I said, if you want this to actually reset the form, you can just say, you know what, it's going to be reset, but not cancel. Yeah, I think this is good. I think this will end the first part of this video. And now you guys follow me in the second video, which is going to be, I believe, the most interesting part of this tutorial, that is styling. We're going to definitely be using some very interesting and some some unique styles going to apply here on this form. And after that, we're going to celebrate together. But still, we can celebrate now because we have something very good. Yes, this is very good. Okay, what are we missing on the privacy policy? I think we missed something there, right? Yes, I think we're missing the description. Yeah, that's the label. So let's go and quickly fix that. Okay, and you can see even without CSS, this form looks good, meaning if this is the only thing that we know, like how to do with building web pages, we can still send this thing to our user, and then we're gonna have something basically working. Yeah, but CSS is good. It makes things look beautiful, give your users more confidence, and give them something that is more appealing. So let's quickly come back here and then fix this issue. So what we're gonna do here is this. Yeah, we need to basically put the message here. I may be contacted about this feedback. Cool. After that, then I'm gonna do this. I would like to help improve by joining the research group. I think that's it. Now let's go back here and see. Yep, this is beautiful, definitely beautiful. You can see all of these things are working. I can check all of this stuff. I can click on this one and I can submit. Now let's see, this is what I was saying. When I hit submit, you will see that this is gonna try to reload. You can see I hit submit, you can see it reloads. But let's say this is reset, that is this cancel. If I tap on this one and maybe select this, even put some text here. The moment I click cancel, you see everything resets to the original empty state of the form. This is beautiful and our users are gonna love this form. Thank you guys for following up to this point. I appreciate that a lot. So please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more interesting stuff, and also share with your friends. And put in the comments below what definitely do you want to learn from us, JassehCodeCamp. We're gonna give you a lot of good stuff, coming definitely. Yeah, all the way from PHP to Python to JavaScript to building real life projects, frameworks with Laravel, frameworks with Next.js, React, Vue. Just let me know in the comments what would you really want to learn fast, and we're gonna do our best to actually provide those stuff to you. Thank you guys once again, and see you in the next video.